When you play pretend, you don't have to be real.
Some bears live circus lives, but this bear, he's singing with the housewives. Hello!
I'm Hunter Arden.
And I'm Papa the Bear. And welcome to the Real Housebears.
And watch this podcat get...
This podcat?
Yeah. This podcast is getting reality checked.
Yes, it is.
I actually think I need to get a reality check because that was probably the worst butchering of podcasts that could have ever happened to the Real Housebears.
Somebody needs a reality check.
Somebody needs a reality check.
Oh, and it was on camera too.
Y'all,
so everyone knows it was me that said it.
There's no mistake. It's either me or you, and I'm pretty sure they're going to realize it wasn't me. So, y'all, today was just such an exciting day. I got to be on Reality Checked with Amy Phillips.
What?
Amy Phillips, in my opinion, the funniest human on this planet. And so last week on Reality Checked, she mentioned my name. She said I was funny. I DM'd her. And then today I was on the show. We need to pull you over so you get in the camera better. Just come out. There we go. Let's make it nice and cozy this week.
Season breeding. Oh, ow.
So, I was so exciting. I'm such a huge fan.
I'm so exciting.
I'm so excited. I am exciting. I'm so excited.
As you can tell, neither one of us can talk today.
I'm really I've been overly stimulated for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah, and we're gearing up for your birthday weekend.
Yes.
All your friends are coming from South Carolina.
Tomorrow. My best friends in the whole world are coming to visit me. We're going out to dinner with Heather and Dre.
Yes, we are.
And I turned 50 on Saturday, and I have never been in a happier place in my entire life. Not many people can say going into their 50th that they're like in the best place imaginable.
Yeah. No midlife crisis for you.
No, I hopefully I can have one later. I feel like I've earned one.
No, I'm younger. I'm the one that gets one.
Oh no.
Yep, 40 is right around the corner for me.
That's true. That's true. Ugh, that's true.
It's gonna be rough. So you better hope to God I'm on national television.
I hope to God you are. I hope to
you
God
have
you
3
are.
years.
Oh. Okay, you guys, help me out here.
Well, I might be in the background on next episode.
You might be. I might
because that's the episode that I did show up for because I was in town because I wasn't working my fabulous job being Hunter Harden, famous around the world. Well, I am famous around the world.
You are famous around the world.
Our friends went to Vietnam and their friends there were like, "Wait, you know Hunter Harden?"
Yeah.
And they're like, yes, he's like our best friend.
So I'm finally catching up to you.
Okay, I'll allow that.
Yes, it's been so exciting. So I couldn't be happier. But to be honest with you, I'm happy to talk about the beginning of this week's Salt Lake City episode, but I'm not looking forward to talking about the end of this week's Salt Lake City episode.
I did not like it.
It made me very uncomfortable.
I'm feeling really uncomfortable.
And I'm not looking forward to talking about it. But I am looking forward to talking about the beginning. Because at the beginning of this episode, when they're
Because the beginning wasn't chaos.
It wasn't chaos.
It wasn't a choir of chaos.
It was about the choir, but it wasn't. Well, it was chaotic. Let's be honest.
I am really trying to do a segue into the
I know,
name
I was
of
going
this.
with you.
No, it was terrible.
Oh.
And that didn't end well, did it?
Well, you can't win them all.
You convoluted it too much.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You made it too busy.
Well, it was busy at the beginning of this episode, but at the very beginning when they're like, previously on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, I made that moment again.
Yes.
Thank God I said that.
Too.
I'll have him and him and him. Thank God I said that.
You're all over it.
I'm so excited about it.
It's so good thing that you're just such a slut that you think about him and him and him.
Yes.
All the time, constant.
Thank God I'm a slut.
Thank God you're married.
Yes. Thank God I'm a married slut.
To all those menses out there trying to hit up on his DMs, thinking that he might be all single.
No, we all know. I talked about my husband on Reality Check today.
That's damn right you do.
But at the beginning of this episode, there are no taglines because we got to get straight to the Choir of Chaos auditions.
I'm here for the audition.
Well, we opened choir auditions with that sexy ass bear choir director,
You know
Corey.
we do.
Oh my goodness gracious.
You know we do.
Oh, I forgot to tell you my third that I would have. So it would be Justin, Frank, and then Corey, the choir director.
Corey, the choir director. is
Corey,
your
the
third.
choir director.
That's
Say
very
that
nice.
3 times fast.
Corey, no.
Yeah.
But I love that you want Seth to all yourself, but you're willing to throw me in your Housewives orgy. But I do love that. Thank you.
You? You're not Corey, the choir
Corey,
director.
the choir director. Sorry.
You're Papa the Bear of the Real Housebears podcast. That's
True,
so
true,
weird.
true.
You're trying to make yourself the same person.
Sorry. It's hard to keep all of my realities straight.
You need a reality check.
I do need a reality check. Well, Jen is not happy, as we know, that Angie H has signed up for
There's so many
auditions.
Angies. Which one was the other Angie?
Angie K.
Angie K. Angie K and Angie H.
Yes, I have a story about Angie K coming up a little bit. Okay. But in the auditions, first comes in Jerwin, and Jerwin is the sweetest guy, or sweetest person in the whole world. I love Jerwin. Jerwin, I think, works with Whitney in real life, to be honest with you.
Is that the guy that Jen Shaw is like making him sing in front of her?
No, that's
Edward.
Yeah, that's Edward.
That was Edward. Yeah.
And what was not aired is that part of Heather's tools to get Jen Shaw to go be the Ryan Seacrest is Jen Shaw, for some reason, brought a tiara. We're not really quite sure, like a crown.
Yeah.
We're not really quite sure why, but what we tasked her with was giving someone that she had singing out in the lobby the crown, and they had an automatic into the choir.
Oh, okay.
So they were like
She had a
crowned
crown.
the best singer of the day.
And did she?
Oh yeah, Edward.
Edward. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of, he got his moment out in the
That's
lobby
so
rather
funny.
than in auditions. But he came in wearing the crown.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But Jerwin came in first, and Jerwin is a really wonderful person. And then we kind of flip in between outside with Dana and Angie K and Angie H and Whitney with the auditions inside. But Angie K kind of gives Angie H the what for.
She's like, why are you trying to hug her and talking behind her back all the
she's
time?
like-
I'm just
she's
like,
don't be
damn.
fake with Lisa.
I was like, wait, who's this?
And she brings up Shaw Exposed, and she's like, don't tell me that you and your husband, and the whole time Angie's like, my husband did this. I have nothing to do with my
to do,
husband."
and that's what they're like. She's denying it. No, she's saying that she really didn't have anything to do with it. It was all her husband.
Well, not everyone's buying that.
Because she did like one of the posts right away. I
Yeah.
mean, how do you? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Angie H is denying it, but Angie K is calling her out, and then Whitney's like, what?
Yeah, she's like, wait a second.
I feel really icky and silly right now.
Okay, so I forgot to say this. So in earlier seasons, I talked about this Halloween dress. It was like a Vegas girl's cocktail dress, and it was all silver with fringe all over that I wanted to wear so bad.
Yeah.
Those are those gold
course.
outfits. Those were it. Those were the
Yes.
exact same outfits where it
No
was just
doubt they were.
a short dress, but it was silver, and it was just layered with
Fringe.
And I wanted to wear that for Halloween so bad growing
No
up, but I was so
doubt
scared
about
people were gonna
that.
like know I was gay.
Well, of course.
So I'm gonna wonder if
Maybe that's
I wonder
what
if they
next
still have
Halloween.
it. I could wear it.
Well, I don't remember. She told me the story. I don't remember if it was rented. I was like, look at Whitney pulling out old dance costumes from when she was a kid.
I thought they were old.
That's what I assumed they were. I don't remember. She might have rented them. I don't.
Oh, my
But she did
goodness.
tell me about that.
But dang, both of these Angies are fighting for that snowflake.
And again, when you are cast as a friend of, your whole duty that season
Is to make yourself-
earn your snowflake.
Make yourself notable and make yourself
Yes.
cause drama. Have to be in the storyline.
Why else are
And
you
dang,
on
Angie,
the show?
Angie H. my girl, you're on your way. I could feel it.
Yeah, and you all Angie H in person.
Okay, so the first time we met Angie H, she was coming back from a party earlier that night, and
At Whitney's.
At Whitney's, yes. And
Yes.
she had one earring of a parrot, I think, and it was a long earring, but she only had one. And I was like, I love that idea of just wearing one earring. I think that's so cute. It's so chic. And she's like, I lost the other earring. I was like, oh.
Well, it was one of those times, Angie Harrington is oftentimes not sober on camera.
No. Well, the
And
first
it
time we
was one
met
of
her,
those
she was
times.
not sober.
Yes, it
but she was
one of
the
those
sweetest
times.
ever.
Yeah, she was. She was so sweet. We really enjoyed her
Yeah.
a whole lot. Well, Jen Shaw comes out, and Dana tells her that Angie K confronted Angie H, and then Jen turns to Angie H and tells her, how effed up all of this is. And Angie's like, no, I didn't know about Chris's account. No, I didn't know about it. Is Sharif, as his spouse, like I am Chris's spouse, is Sharif taking heat for the things that you're being accused of? And she's like, well, there's a difference. I'm being accused of something that Jen Shaw is claiming innocence of right now, whereas Chris is clearly guilty of this. He has now proclaimed his guilt for this situation.
And I think his account, like if you look at somebody's created account to see if they're linked up to any other emails, I think it shows like who it could be connected to, and maybe that's how they found out.
Well, and
because I don't know if it was very smart. I mean,
word travels fast. Where one person finds out. It's
and they're wanting to get on the show just as bad as they want to get on the show. So they're like,
absolutely,
I want to know.
So literally in the middle of it, we have no idea what's going on inside. We're having the most amazing time, really, and I know that's not, it's more sensational to not show all of the amazing talent, but we were enjoying some incredible music by a lot of really talented people, and also a lot of really interesting people.
Didn't you say Dre's daughter blew the roof off? And
Elsha came in and sang, but this was after Heather didn't even get to hear Elsha's audition. Oh. Heather was outside. So you saw Mark pull Heather outside.
Yes.
Heather leaves for a while. We have no idea what's going on. We just know that there's some drama. And of course,
the show must go on.
Yeah, so we keep auditioning people. Heather comes back in, and we find out that Jen Shaw is outside upset, and we're like,
okay,
oh,
that's on brand.
We're like, well, okay, then maybe at least these auditions will make the show. Maybe there's some way I'll be on this show now that we know that Jen Shaw's mad at Angie
Little
outside.
did you know, the first 4 minutes that you were going to be on TV, you were going to blow the lid off of reality TV.
Again, every minute I was like, this isn't going to make it. It's not going to matter.
I know.
I'm not going to be
you
on
were
this
so,
show.
you're like, I'm just so convinced that I'm not going to have any wordage in there. And we'll be happy if I even show up on it. I'm like, honey, you're going to have wordage.
Yeah.
Bitch, you had wordage.
I did my best. So Heather then ended up leaving again while we were still, Heather did not get to finish all of the auditions that we got. So Heather goes outside. Heather is just kind of the person where she just doesn't understand why some of these things are as big of a deal as they are.
Well, and plus she's dealing with so much right now. Plus she's dealing with this brand new endeavor that she's starting, this choir.
Yeah, you're interrupting her choir auditions. And I know people can think this is as fake as they want to think, but this is really something that we had been talking about for years, and we were finally making it happen. And it was something that Heather was really, truly doing for herself.
Yeah.
And for us to all enjoy this community, of course. But everything that she said presenting, this storyline was completely true. She missed having a place to create music, but now she's in charge of this.
And found out that a lot of ex-Mormons really needed that outlet as well, but didn't realize.
Yeah, so you're coming, and we only have 3 days to put this together. So it was a panic, and you're interrupting something that was really important to her with something that she thought was already done and over with.
Yeah.
So maybe Heather didn't, it looked as if maybe she was choosing Angie H's side, but I think it was really more like, I'm in the middle of auditions, you're supposed to be out here wrangling them all in, and I've got a million things going on, and this is the important thing that's going on right now. I thought you already talked about this, Chris already apologized for it, why are we still talking about it? And again, the Shaw Exposed wasn't about Jen Shaw, it was just using her name. So anyhow,
The person that should be the maddest is Lisa.
Well, Lisa shows up for auditions.
Yes,
This is her way to give Heather at least sees this as an olive branch, and I think Lisa also sees this as an olive branch. So Heather asks Lisa why she's there and does she want to be in the choir, and like Lisa's like, I'm here to support you.
Yep.
That message was very clear for all of us. And again, I told you that Heather was consistently telling me throughout this season, Lisa and I are really trying to work on our friendship. You know, they really are like oil and water.
Mm-hmm.
So Heather really does kind of take it as an apology, and then you see the name titles, Corey and Jeff.
I know, they loved it.
So, and you can see, again, if you see any frame of this episode, any
You're like
frame
this.
of auditions, I'm so excited. Like, I cannot believe my life at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Lisa Barlow in there singing Away in a Manger.
Away in a manger, no crib for his bed.
Yes.
The little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the heaven looked down where he lay. And little Lord Jesus, no crying he made. Is that it?
You got Jen screaming outside at Whitney and Angie.
And then later, especially when you see Whitney and Angie dancing to when the
Oh my gosh, your
I-
face is like glowing.
Yeah, I had
You're
no
about to
idea.
jump out of your skin.
You really.
Yeah.
I
You're like, is this my life with watching Housewives unravel right before
You
my
guys
eyes?
seriously watch me in the few frames that I am during that auditions, and I almost can't stand myself. I'm so excited.
It was like kind of like the cherry on the icing on the topping of the cake for me.
So Lisa goes out to find Jen Shaw when she finds out that Jen Shaw is upset about something. And Jen's like, I want everyone to sit down and we're going to talk about this. And if Heather doesn't come to my defense, if Heather sides with Angie H, like this is going to be ugly.
Yeah.
She's like, the only reason why Heather is friends with with Angie H is, and then we get the line,
Her fat elf on the shelf husband.
the fat F elf on a shelf
Yes.
is throwing
is-
money. Like they're taking that, that Norway cruise.
Yeah,
together.
just for her to be to get a free dinner and a trip on a yacht. She's a cheap date. And I'm like, why are you taking digs on Heather already? She hasn't even, nothing's even happened.
When her feelings are hurt,
She
that's
just
what
takes
she does.
jabs. But yeah, that's
what
not a
she
cheap
does.
date. I mean, I think to own or even rent a yacht, you have to be pretty wealthy.
Well, yeah.
So that's a very expensive date.
I bet I'm curious to see. I don't know if it's aired yet, but their episode of Below Deck's Adventure. I wonder if Angie is like the premiere guest.
Ooh,
I'm curious to see that. So they all get together. Jen addresses. Well, actually, before that, Angie Harrington and Heather Gay practically sitting in the same on her lap.
Yeah.
It made me uncomfortable.
Made me very uncomfortable. And when Heather's trying to explain herself, Angie keeps cutting her off and trying to like calm. It just doesn't. It's not coming off right.
But I know it didn't mean anything. I know that that's just how Angie is with Heather. I know that she is. They're that friends that are fun and touchy feely and laugh.
But it just didn't come off very well.
Knowing that there's drama. I guess
Yeah.
Angie maybe not knowing what she was getting into,
Or maybe Angie holding on to Heather for dear life.
Protect me. It could have been any of that. It could have been any of that. So Angie though apologizes immediately. And she's like, listen, I'm not going to make excuses about this. It was awful. I'm so sorry. And it seems to blow over pretty quickly.
Well, not for Lisa.
Or for Heather.
Well, yeah, but Lisa's now pissed. She's like, how am I hearing her apologize to somebody else when it was all attacks against me?
Yeah, she cannot take it. Angie is a liar who will throw out these things, but then apologize for it and just get away with it.
That's what a lot of these housewives do.
Yeah. That's the name of the game, right? But we want hope. I think Lisa's thing is this is the same old Angie that ain't never going to change.
Amen. Good. Get her on the show.
Put her on the show.
Let's get some drama on this show.
And maybe if we know Angie a little bit better on the show, we'll understand a little bit more of where she's coming from.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe not look as much as a villain. I don't know.
Yeah, her husband's pretty hot.
But Jen tells Heather how dismissive Heather seemed, and Heather kind of explains it away while Angie is just still apologizing in the background.
Yeah.
And we do find out that Heather did send Jen flowers the next day, and a lot of people kind of took that as a cop-out, but I think it was really, to me, you know, I always assume the best of Heather. I think it was more like, hey, I heard you. I hurt your feelings. I apologize.
Yeah, I heard you. Like, that's all those flowers were, was I hear you flowers.
Yeah. It wasn't, you know, people read so much into everything. But yeah, what's so wrong with Heather just saying, I heard you. Here's some flowers.
I want to support Heather Gay.
Well, Angie tells Lisa that she bullies everyone online, you know, and Lisa's like, I have one account and my face is on that account.
Yeah.
So Heather's like, the truth is, Lisa, here, if you want to talk about the truth is you don't have any friends left. Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch. That I mean, that was harsh.
Because that means that she's not friends with her.
This is like Heather. This is like reunion Heather.
Yeah, where she was like,
you know,
tired of
Heather does not take Lisa's BS in a reunion.
No.
So this was very much like reunion Heather, where she's like, you know what? Y'all have ruined my choir. You've ruined my choir auditions. I ain't in the mood for none of y'all.
You want an apology? No.
Right?
I still can't stand her.
So Lisa's like, all right, well, who here is not my friend? But it looks like only Heather and Angie.
Yeah, it looked like only Heather and Angie.
Not even Meredith.
Yeah.
But you know, Meredith, I think...
Meredith's staying in the cool zone.
Yeah, I mean, Heather...
Why would she even raise her hand to create drama?
So Heather and Lisa, like, really get into it. Yeah. And Lisa tries, and it's, you know, it's about this obituary situation about Lisa tweeting Heather's dad's obituary. And Lisa's trying to explain, like, look, I was just trying to clear my name. And Heather replies, you know, really sarcastically, like, okay, your name is cleared now. You're a really upstanding person. Do you feel better about this?
I don't like this.
No. But, you know, maybe Lisa did clear her name, but posting the obituary nonetheless was going to hurt Heather's feelings. So maybe you were right about the date. You feel better now?
I told the truth. If you don't like the truth, don't ask for it. I'm telling you the truth. I don't fucking lie.
You could bring that up at reunion.
Right. Or I can just maybe find a more tactful date or way to do it.
Yeah,
you know?
but listen, when you're trying to defend yourself on this, it's a lot of pressure on social media.
It is.
Have to defend yourself, to feel like you have to defend yourself to all these fans who are insane and will say whatever they want to another human being, thinking that they could vent their frustration onto a random human being and think that they won't take that. Even if they don't respond, they still read it and it still hurts. Like, there comes a time when you're like, screw it, I'm defending myself. So it's hard. I have a hard time. She could have done it more tastefully.
That's the thing.
But she, at the same time...
Don't defend yourself at the expense of...
hurting another family member or something.
Your castmate who you're working on a friendship with. Was being wrong about this date so important?
Well, it depends on what kind of messages she's been getting this whole year. If people were still hounding her on it, I mean, can't get away from it.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
I get both sides. But I'm also on the side where I have a lot of fans and I have a lot of people that just don't like me for whatever reason and will come for me on social media of the littlest things, and it hurts. It sucks. Like, whether they're strangers or not, you feel like you need to defend yourself to strangers. It's stupid.
So it would hurt that your friend would post something like that would hurt your feelings.
Yeah, she didn't do it the right way.
No, and then again, it sucks for Lisa Barlow to have to defend herself from
the first place,
from trolls.
From still from that was what, 2 seasons ago?
No, it was it
last season?
I have a feeling that the reunion had aired somewhere around this time.
Okay.
in real time. That's why I think it's
I'm getting
such
so mixed up on seasons.
No, this was season 2 reunion. I'm pretty sure.
Well, are we gonna go over to some?
Let's get in the bathtub.
Some toe,
Yes.
but oh.
It's so damn hot.
I mean, that's not the way I was going to put it.
That's toe around. Butt stuff.
You're towing the line.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Save me.
Yes. Let's just get into Meredith and Seth's bathtub. Now, I will say for all of the intimate moments between couples on Housewives, Tamra and Eddie, we've got Love is Art with Whitney and Justin. This is the tamest of them all.
Yeah.
This was just fun. Clearly,
bathtub.
Meredith loves to be in a bathtub.
Yeah,
bathtub and if
stuff.
Bathtubs are big enough for me, which is rare, I'm going to be in that bathtub.
Yeah, and your toes are going to go up a butt.
If I'm lucky.
Well, I'm just saying they're not that big, so.
I mean, I love a bath. A bath.
This whole conversation and knowing that her toe was right by his taint the whole time made me uncomfortable.
Well, where else was she going to put it?
On his thigh, on his wiener.
I don't know.
That's what I do.
Well, what I'd like to focus on is how excited I am that after season 1, when they were barely hanging on to their marriage, Seth's been gone for 4 days and she has missed him terribly. I love seeing where their relationship is now.
Yeah, it's a very me and you relationship, very codependent, that now that you've been around so much, now when you're gone, even if it's 4 days, it's like, geez.
Oh my gosh, if I'm gone for
things.
4 days, it might as well be a month for us.
Yeah, it sucks.
I mean, we're probably crying. Right?
My life is falling apart by the time you get home after 4 days. I'm just like, I need someone here.
Yes. So I loved seeing that they're in such a different place than season 1.
And I mean, they're basically gone away from each other the same amount that we're away from each other most times.
Well, they said 4 days a month, they said.
2 times, 4 days, twice a month.
Twice a month. I didn't catch that.
4 days, twice a month. So it's like 2 weekends that me and you would be gone from each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to talk about the tension between Heather and Jen, which is not a tension. I mean, did you expect tension between Heather and Jen? Do you expect tension between Heather and Whitney? Like, this is not the season of Everyone Loving Heather like we're used to.
Yeah, this is an interesting season.
Yeah, I love this season. Don't get me wrong.
But you could tell Heather is so stressed.
Heather,
with all the things that she's trying to do right now.
But Heather of anyone has been so supportive of Jen Shaw.
Yes.
More than anyone on the show, and maybe more than
through.
some people in her life.
Yeah.
Has Heather really been there? So it's weird to have this tension between Heather and Jen. And now, Angie and Heather are new friends. So either way, Heather's in the middle of this situation. And we know, we mentioned it last week, Heather hates
confrontation.
Yeah, she hates it.
Did you notice Seth is sipping bourbon next to him in the tub?
That's my guy.
Yeah. I love Seth.
Me too.
I did like the flashback to Mary Cosby. For some reason, I'm really enjoying the flashbacks to Mary Cosby. I miss her.
She's a lovely memory.
I miss the Housewives without a Mary.
Or I miss the Housewives with a Mary, you mean?
I mean, with a Mary.
With a Mary, yeah. It's quite lovely to see her. It's kind of like what I understand.
It seems like it was so long ago.
Well, it's kind of like what I understand a woman when she goes through a childbirth. She kind of forgets how painful that childbirth was. And she's like, oh, I want to have another kid.
Yeah.
So we forget, all the horrible things that Mary said and did to people. And
so she was back in the show, would be like, oh, wait.
And then you just remember the funny things that she said. Because she said some funny,
wild stuff.
And to be back in Mary's closet.
Yeah, just the closet alone, it's overwhelming, but
so I do miss that.
Yeah, I miss it.
But she was
a horrible human,
to a lot of people.
Yeah, but I miss that. I just miss that edge that she gave the show. You didn't realize how much of an edge she gave the show.
Well, I don't miss her until they show me the flashbacks. I don't think about Mary
I don't think about Mary otherwise. But when you see the flashbacks, you're like, oh, man, what would Mary be doing right now?
Right, yes. I think the show is doing just great without Mary. But when they flash back, it's like...
Ooh, where's that rogue wild card?
It brings that warm feeling in my heart that I never associated with Mary before.
That I always thought was a blood clot.
women.
A heart attack right there because of Mary Cosby. Well, let's talk about some wonderful people. Heather and Dre pulling up to the future Beauty Lab and Laser Part 2.
Like, we're moving on up.
Druther Hardenwood is coming together tomorrow.
Druther Hardenwood is together tomorrow night.
It's been so long since Druther Hardenwood has been together.
It's been a minute. Heather Gay is the busiest human on the planet.
Yes.
And Dre has kids. Like, what's that about? I'm kidding.
Kids.
I love her kids. So they're pulling up. They meet David, the VP of like the management company of the property.
I'm like, oh yeah, construction workers, hard hats. I was so geared up for this episode. And what was his name?
Dave was nice.
Dave was the only one there.
Yeah, no hot construction workers like sweating on each other.
I know.
And smacking each other on the butt.
Taking their shirts off, their dirty hands and stuff.
Sorry, not here.
Dang.
But we do get to see Heather and Dre looking sexy in construction
I love
gear.
that they're playing contractors.
Yes.
That's cute.
They look sexy as hell.
Yes. They're like, we're going to contract this and contract that, and we're going to put it over here, and I'm contracting.
Look at these blueprints.
Yeah, blueprints. How come they're not all blue?
These floor plans are fabulous.
This is so chic. I love how chic this is.
This space is
so chic.
Oh my gosh. Well, what's not chic is how much Heather's got going on.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of pressure from all of her sides. Like, she's got the book, she's got Beauty Lab, she's got her family, and now she's got pressure from her friends. She's like, as soon as I enter a room, people are coming after me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's wrong, y'all? I'm a nice person. I'm the good time girl. I'm a loyal friend. Why are you all making all these mountains out of these tiny little molehills? You know my heart. And we're going to talk more about that coming up with this last scene. Do you think it's, now that you have your hair perfect, do you think it's time that we should take a quick break? Oh, hello? Hair?
Sure.
Give me a head with hair.
I'm just looking at myself.
Long, beautiful hair.
I'm just fixing my hair up. It's been so long since I've seen my temples, and my God, they are far back.
Our poor people who only listen to us. Y'all gonna have to watch us. But let's take a break first.
I'm balding.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm done with this.
This is Heather Gay from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and you're listening to the Real Housebears podcast.
And after a lovely break, we are back. I don't know if anybody caught the last episode of ours, and in between the interlude of our day of our episode, you could hear me singing a song in the background about my bear, about him being a stupid slut or something like that. He's a stupid slut. His name is Bear. Anyways,
yeah, that wasn't a mistake. I left that in on purpose.
He left that in on purpose because he didn't turn off the sound before I got up and started singing songs about him. But that's basically all I do. All days I sing songs about what a stupid slutty bear he is, what a stinky bear he is, what a bad bear he is. You know, just the same terminology over and over and over again.
You don't
I think
normally
it's funny.
call me a slutty bear, but tonight it seems like that's the one.
Well, that night, for some reason, you're just a big, dumb, stupid, slutty bear. And it was fun to sing. And so I was singing it. But it's just, that's our love language, I guess.
It is our love. You singing songs about me being a bad bear is the soundtrack of our love.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that can sing.
I thought it was your hot mic moment.
It was my hot mic moment.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know I was mic'd still.
Oh my gosh.
And I started singing about what a stupid, slutty bear you are.
You know who's not going to have a hot mic moment is Heather Gay.
Oh, that's true. In this episode, she throws it.
She knows. She knows. She's like, I am going to learn from Lisa Barlow's lesson. You ain't going to get a hot mic moment from me.
Because during our hot mic moment, and both of ours, when we were mic'd, was with Heather Gay, just talking about life and about stuff. And then we're like, oh, we can't. You forget that you're mic'd. So Heather Gay has got it down right, Pat.
Oh, yeah. There was a scene that I don't think is going to make it on the show when Heather, Dre, and I get together to talk about who auditioned and, and who we want to, everyone who showed up was actually worthy of participating. But just talking about the people who auditions, I doubt that scene. But there was a moment when Heather and I were back in her office, just her and I, after we were mic'd up, and we were talking, and both had that light bulb moment of, oh God. So we started writing down to each other.
What were you guys talking about?
We were just talking about you. Yes.
I can't talk about that.
Why not?
Because
I'm your husband. You should be able to tell me and us
we will talk
everything
about it off the podcast.
And then I will bring it onto the podcast.
No, ma'am, you will not.
Gosh, this is not fun at all.
But you know, when people are like, there's no way that you forget that you're mic'd. There's no way that you forget the cameras are there. You do.
I was mic'd only for a little bit, and there was a moment when I was like, I need to not talk anymore because I could say something that's mic'd.
But don't you even forget that the camera people are there most of the time?
You could tell everyone's there, but like when you're in the middle of a heated discussion, it's all just surrounding. It's all when you're peripheral.
But like even being in a moment, like you really don't think about. They stand away from you far enough that you don't even really know.
And you're talking about stuff that you're heated, so you just don't realize.
Or even just like when I was talking to the ladies about.
Just from me being there that one day, the only thing I left with that day was it's exhausting to be a housewife.
I wish that I could just disappear.
It was exhausting, and we were only there for a couple hours. And I was like,
They film all day long.
And it's just constant. You're just constantly put into situations, even if you're ready for the conversation or not to happen, you're there for that conversation to happen.
Yeah.
And for that conflict to be resolved or not resolved. And it's like, especially it's just stressful, man. And I was like watching Heather Gay like kind of lose it about the producer saying she had to talk about something with Dre, and she's like, that's not who I would talk about this with, and like getting upset with the producers at one point. But
yeah,
it's
stressful.
It was all like she was crying when she got to rehearsals.
Yeah, it's very, very stressful. And we haven't even got to that point.
And we haven't even got to that episode yet.
That might be next week.
That's next week's episode that I might be in the background, y'all. It's the only episode that I showed up for.
You might make your moment.
I did not say anything funny. The first thing I did when we walked into that big room where they were filming us, our first scene or whatever, when we walked into that room, I bumped right into the wall. I did
too. Let's save it for next week. Okay. Well, let's get to John and Lisa Barlow at the Market Street Oyster Bar, which is a really great restaurant. We've been there.
But we didn't get to eat anything there.
No, we had oysters there.
Oh, we did have oysters there.
And something else. So we met Dre there for your birthday. So this was the night that we met Jen Shaw. And she got into that Uber. And they also sang and danced, and we have that video, and that's where Heather Gay got the idea for the choir. So wow. So that's what it all started at Market Street Oyster Bar.
Jeez.
It all started at Market Street Oyster Bar. But I love John and Lisa Barlow's relationship.
I love when it's just us.
I feel like it's a lot of me and you, too.
Yeah.
Like, he knows what to say, when to say it, and when to chime in and when not to chime in, and when he's just listening to our vent and not listening to our vent.
Yeah. Most time. I'm still a work in progress on that sometimes. But I think that they have a really lovely relationship. They order a lavender Vita. We just went and bought some Vita tequila today for my birthday.
We sure did, for Corey's 50th birthday.
Top shelf
tequila. I do like the Vita tequila, to be honest with you. I think it's really good.
But today they only had the Blanco. I really wanted the Añejo. So Lisa Barlow, if you're listening.
Like, where is my Vita?
Yeah, can you send a bottle of Añejo?
And can you send it over via Jack Fresh Wolf Barlow?
Yeah, if Jack sends it over, we'll totally get pictures with him.
I don't think she's listening, but you never know.
Hey, you never know. We might. Hey, Lisa Barlow.
So hi. Lisa chatted with Gina today, who we've mentioned a million times on our podcast. We love her.
Yes.
We got to spend an hour, maybe, was it? It felt like it.
I mean, I talked with her the most that entire day.
Yeah, we went to, if you remember, Jenny from last season.
Yeah.
This is Jenny from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. You are listening to the Real Housebears podcast.
Her daughter, Carlin, had a book signing. An 8-year-old authored a book. And us as 30 and 40-somethings showed up to her book signing.
30s and 40s something.
That was the first time that we met Lisa Barlow.
Yes.
And we met her lovely, lovely sister, Genia. Like, I can't speak highly enough about her.
I'm blown. I want to see all of her sisters all in a lineup because she was saying that they all have different hair colors. And it's just like, I just want to see a bunch of like copies of Lisa just in different hair color.
And one of these days, I have to remember to find out what is the name of her fashion line and see if it still exists. It's horrible for us to keep bringing up.
Isn't it Eve? Something like closer to Eve?
Something like that, yes.
Something to Eve.
Oh, wow. That you might be right about that.
Something with Eve.
That's a random memory that you have of that.
Well, I really enjoyed her sister.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
And Lisa likes that about us. That we liked her sister.
Yeah. We still need to send her the episode where we talked about her and everything.
Oh, I think you did.
Oh, did I? Okay.
I think you did. So anyway, Lisa chatted with Genia today. Lisa really gets, a few episodes ago, Lisa said that she was an empath. And I kind of laughed at it. But I'm starting to think she really is.
Like, I'm an empath to a good certain degree. And I do take on other people's feelings pretty heavily. But man, Lisa is on a different level.
Yeah,
like when she talks about anything, she starts to tear up. She gets really emotional.
Talks about her family in general, her kids,
yeah, family, yeah,
or her siblings. Like she really takes it on. And John's like, you know what? Maybe you need to protect yourself a little bit.
Ooh, and him saying that the kids would even hope that sometimes she wouldn't take the call. That was heavy. I would hate to have to watch that episode and be like, really take a look at yourself from a third stance, like third person view.
You've got so much going on with your life. Don't let your family bring you down even harder.
Yes, and I think she's starting to realize
just by taking it on.
And I think she's starting to realize she needs family and God, of course, but she needs family and
yeah, I really thought, people of faith, regardless of their faith, I totally support having something to believe in. I totally support having something to believe in. Whether that belief is a God, the God, some God, no God.
I mean, whatever. People out there that meditate, it's the same thing. They're saying prayers, which is basically meditation to them, or to people of faith.
And, if that connection is what gives you peace and what gives you focus, then I support you seeking that. And so I support this moment for Lisa Barlow.
I used to like going to church every once in a while, but
my whole life was church.
Yeah, my whole life was church growing up too.
My whole life.
Church camps, church puppetry.
Mission trip. I went on. I
did not
grow up
trips.
Mormon, but I went on mission trips. I mean, church was my life. So I get it. So I'm glad that Lisa is searching for peace in a positive way.
Yeah, because she's starting to realize that she is not herself.
Yes. I get obsessed when Jen Shaw is in braids. I love to call her Jen Shaw in braids.
So
or Jen in braids.
Jen in braids.
Even in my notes right there, Jen in braids and Sharif. It's like the last episode when she got arrested. She was Jen in braids.
Yeah.
So I just like to call her Jen in braids. I don't know
that
what that
90s
is.
in you.
I guess it is. So Jen is like, listen, I was meant for this Ryan Seacrest gig.
I'm like the Polynesian Ryan Seacrest.
Like, I was living I found my true calling. And he's like, I don't know how I feel about that, baby.
But I'm glad that you were center of attention.
But I thought it was smart for him to come up with Regina Seacrest.
Yeah, Regina Seacrest.
She's like, huh, who's Regina? And I'm like, no, it's a take on Ryan.
I didn't get it either.
Oh, no, I got it right away.
No,
I got it right away.
Yeah,
but I have a feeling me and Sharif would be right like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's so hot.
Yeah, it would.
Dad stuff.
I love Sharif. I kind of do.
We haven't met Sharif yet.
I know, but you know what? To be honest with you, I kind of, going back to who my three are, it's hard not to include Sharif in that because I find him very sexy. crazy.
And the more I'm getting to know about him as a human, my God.
Yes, like if he's anything at home like he is on TV, like he's an ideal partner.
I don't know if two of you could be in a relationship together because that is just too much caring.
Also, Sharif Jr. though, oh man.
No, sir.
And he's like over 21. He's a full-on adult.
No, sir.
Okay. You're okay as long as it's dad age.
Yeah, of course. You can fantasize all you want.
So Jen tells Sharif about Angie K confronting Angie H and Angie H all throwing it on to Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Angie's like, my husband's not here.
Plead the fifth.
Yeah. But Sharif, I mean, we ain't never seen him this mad before.
But it's true, though. I just recently had this breakdown on my Facebook because the last couple of times I've shared any type of my own feeling, even though I explain myself in it, no matter what, there are people that have now become, that I've met in person that are now saying mean and hurtful things to me now. And I had finally had it because I get that on a daily basis from trolls, but now it's leaking into like friends on Facebook. And it was the straw on the camel's back that I just completely turned off my Facebook and deactivated it for 7 days because I just can't handle the pressure anymore. I can't handle waking up and not feeling good right away from what people are saying about me.
Which straw breaks the camel's back?
Yeah, and it wasn't even confrontational.
And it wasn't even.
It was just
wasn't a confrontation.
Hey, I found this out today, and it kind of bummed me out.
And I even said I may be over exaggerating, but this is just how I feel. And people, and this one person in particular that we've met this year, and I thought we're friends, just laid into me. And even when I explained myself, he still wouldn't have it, and then posted something negative on his page about me. And I deleted him, and people are like, you just have to have thick skin. But I want to have a place where I can be free to have my own life outside of the popular Hunter Harden. I want to just be Hunter sometimes on social media, and I just can't get a break sometimes. And that's the straw on the camel's back. I have gone through depression, and other people out there are going through depression, and there could be something that you say that may not even be as hateful or hurtful, but it could be the straw on the camel's back that could end somebody's life because it's just a pile of things. So everyone needs to start being a lot kinder on social media. It's become so easy to attack people and vent your frustrations out on strangers, but it's cyberbullying. We needed to stop bullying in schools. Now we need to stop bullying on the internet. I went from being bullied by straight guys in high school to being cyberbullied by gay guys. It's just continuing through my whole life. And it's just all on the internet. And so when Sharif gets really heated about this, I was 100% behind him. I was like, you are preaching to the choir, because there are people out there that... Internet is life nowadays. Oh, yeah. Social media is life. And when you're not only are getting it in your daily life and feeling bad, and then you get on the internet and people are just relentlessly just hateful and spiteful for no reason because they're just having a bad day.
Oh, yeah.
And they end up hurting themselves because of it. So I'm with Sharif on this one. Yeah.
I mean, something even kind of trivial. Someone commented on something of mine, was like, I can't wait to hear your 5-person choir.
Yeah.
That's stupid. And nothing stupid compared to what you or Jen Shaw, not even. But I was like, what was the point of that snarky comment?
Yeah.
What was the point of
And
that?
you remembered it. You remembered it enough. And that's the thing, is it doesn't matter if you read it and don't respond, it still sits with you. You still, no matter what, it's somebody saying something about you negatively, and you can defend yourself, but it's pointless at most times.
Well, Sharif said that Jen has literally been balled up in tears because of it.
100%.
And now that I've seen, again, now that I've kind of trolled the tagline, or the hashtag, and seeing people tagging the ladies themselves in their comments, like, it's...
And you know what? I had to teach myself on Facebook not to only message back with something negative about something that I saw, because even I noticed that I would only respond to things negatively if I had something negative to say about it or have a contradictory opinion. But now I've learned to not. I don't have to.
No.
You don't have to put your opinion
No.
because you're just starting to fight with somebody else
You don't
that
have
you just
to
don't
engage.
even. You don't have to engage. It's just their own opinion. It's
You don't have-
their own life. It's just I just didn't engage.
I'm not engaged. Okay, listen, Jen.
Yeah.
And life has become so much easier when I've stopped engaging and only replied positive things to people's posts.
Yeah. That's kinda
It's
how
changed
I
my
roll.
life a lot.
That's kind of how I roll on social media.
But that's why I also had a breakdown recently because I just couldn't handle the negativity.
Well, Sharif says that if Angie H and Chris if they're going to make a public proclamation, they got to make a public apology.
And I agree with that 100%. He should make a post on that fake page, if it's still up, apologizing and leaving it up there and pinning it at the top.
But then Jen tells Sharif about Heather, and that's when we find out about the flowers. And I was kind of surprised. Like, Sharif is having a bad day. He's fed up.
Yeah, you could tell
because I think that Sharif and Heather have a really great relationship, like Jen and Heather do. So I was surprised.
But he's also he's only getting one side of the story from his wife and stuff. So of course you're going to react negatively and want to protect your wife, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like him and what? Coach and
before this episode, we were like, we're not going to have anything to say.
Oh my gosh, shut up.
This is going to be the shortest episode ever.
I was insane by the end. Completely insane because I was emotionally devastated.
Okay, anyways.
This is turning out to be our longest episode ever.
Should we go play basketball with Whitney and Lisa?
Yes. Lisa and Henry show up to play with Brooks and Whitney.
Yeah.
They have a basketball game, and they...
Not Brooks Marks, Whitney's kid Brooks.
Yes. And they switched
kids.
Children, yes.
Yeah, children.
They switched
children. And play basketball. Whitney and Henry win.
Yes.
So, of course, the other kids go and they don't play together. They just run off on scooters in opposite direction.
Henry, be careful, okay? I know. Because I love you.
And Whitney and Lisa sit and talk about life. You know, how's Justin taking things with the...
Lisa has her Diet Coke and her hot
tamales.
tamales.
Oh, did you need... Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You can't leave out the Diet Coke and the hot
tamales. Like,
tamales.
honestly, if they make an action figure of Lisa, that's what she comes with is either the accessory of a Del Taco fish taco, Diet Coke.
Both.
Yeah, you get
One
both
in
of
each
them.
hand.
One in each hand. But I think you should be able, like, what would be a clothing accessory? Oh, her pajamas. Full-length pajamas.
Know. She has some really serious, like, tops, too, and fur. She has a sweet jacket game, too. She has a nice
Then she'd have a good winter action figure. Is that what they call them, action figures?
Sure.
Barbies? Are Barbies action figures? What do they call them?
Barbie dolls.
Dolls?
Yeah.
That would be the perfect doll.
The figurine of Lisa.
Of Lisa.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's please. Whitney tells Lisa that Justin's being like Mr. Mom these days.
Oh, the flashback with Justin in a 5 o'clock shadow.
I wrote the same thing.
Oh, did you? Oh, man. Because you've seen him all primmed and cleaned up. But in that one clip of them throwing all of those things at him, he had a 5 o'clock shadow. I was like, yeah, you just moved to the top of the list, Mr.
Looking
Justin
better
Rose.
than he did on Watch What Happens Live later that night.
Oof.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
He's getting a lot of flack for that Gucci outfit. Getting a lot of flack for that Gucci outfit.
I do have to say, it was like something from TRL.
Well, all I can say is, Justin, you're still sexy and we still
Oh,
love you.
Oh my God. I do you in the Gucci hat.
So Lisa mentions her sister and how she's trying to have empathy without carrying the weight of it. And then Whitney replies, when you carry around that emotion, that's what turns into disease and health problems. This is what Lisa Rinna was trying to say.
It turns into not literal cancer, but it turns into health problems.
Which, it could very well be cancer. That's
not the...
Whitney said it in a more eloquent way.
Yes.
And a non-offensive way.
Holding on to damaging things and not letting it go can create health problems
mean,
mental issues.
anyone who's had cancer or lost someone to cancer, the way Lisa Rinna stated it, it's like...
That's how you get cancer.
How could you be so insensitive, you know?
Seriously, like, even I thought that was super insensitive.
It was
but
totally
I hate her.
insensitive.
Oh, I don't hate her, but I very much dislike her.
Right. We know, honey. We know. Cue the soundbite.
You're so angry.
Ooh, end of episode. Period.
So anyhow, Whitney has been reaching out to her brother Curtis to like help her stay strong, and Lisa's like, you know, I relate to needing that foundation. I've been trying to get connected back to my faith.
Back to God.
Lisa does... You know, it is a fine line of when Lisa Barlow, she does like to talk about her similar situations to relate to you, but it would be really hard. It's really hard sometimes not to make it sound like you're making it about you.
Yeah, it's that whole Sutton thing where she is trying to relate, or is she trying to make it about herself? And I just don't understand that, because I have the habit of doing that a lot in conversations, and I sometimes now have that inner dialogue where I'm like, am I trying to make this about me, or am I trying to make myself relatable to them? Am I trying to make the conversation about me?
Well, I think knowing your heart and also my same, I'm trying to be like, hey,
I relate.
If you need someone to talk to about this, I'm here as someone who can kind of identify what you're going through. So I do the same thing. So I think sometimes it's delivery also.
Yeah, it's so.
And
it's
I think
so
even
delivery.
Lisa Barlow would also agree that sometimes her delivery doesn't hit the mark.
Man, I'm going to have to add a third person to this podcast because my hair is speaking to me, honey.
Oh, my God.
If you watch the YouTube episode, it is giving me life, and I'm showing face.
Are you crazy? I'm not.
Oh, my gosh.
And
What
so
is
much
happening to this episode? Well, as usual, it gets back to Lisa versus Heather. And Lisa's like, I've tried to be friends with Heather. And, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know we're all rooting for them to become friends, but I don't know. I have a feeling that just don't gel.
Well, I just have a feeling Heather just will not let anything go either.
Well, Whitney wants to get along, but Whitney doesn't want to not talk about her feelings, though.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got to stop the hair and finish.
Oh, I am. I'm listening. I'm still doing stuff and playing with my hair.
Well, this is the final scene, and I hate this scene. I just hate this scene.
But okay. I've been saying this whole episode of how overwhelmed Heather is, and the second she opens the door, she lists off all the reason why she is overwhelmed right now.
Yeah.
That's how she starts off this conversation with Whitney. And it's like Whitney didn't even hear anything that she said, and she just said, so Whitney goes into this saying, I want to have a good conversation. I don't want to accuse. I don't want to attack or blah, 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 trying to be all PC.
We're friends. We should be able to talk about things and be friends.
But then she goes into like what Heather is doing wrong.
Fair.
Like pretty right away.
Yeah. Whitney's like, I've had things going on and you haven't addressed them.
Yeah, and she also gave her a little dig saying, well, why am I having to chase Heather down at her house with her inner monologue of going to there? And I'm like, that was a dig you took like right away, right in the beginning after explaining yourself. I want to come into this in a good light and not feel like we're fighting and it's a two-way conversation. But I felt like on the way here, why am I chasing Heather?
Okay, I kind of felt like Whitney started. I totally hear you, and you may very well be right about that. When I was watching it, that didn't leap out to me as strongly. When I was watching it, I thought, okay, Whitney's starting off on the right note.
Yeah, she is. But when she says, like, she went into that pretty quickly, and that was like the hurt Whitney that is trying to get something back where an apology isn't going to be enough.
I think the biggest problem with this conversation is it's another situation of I'm paying more attention to the words that you're using than what you're trying to say. neither of them are really communicating kind of what their bottom line is. What Whitney's bottom line is, hey, I hate that we're distant. And these are the reasons on my side why there's distance.
Yeah, I totally get that.
And then I think what Heather's not hearing that. All Heather is hearing is, you know what? We've been tight for so long. I've had your back through and through. Why is something that is maybe even just a misunderstanding, why is this coming in between us at all? This is silly.
And if
you know that I love you.
Yeah.
You know that, bad weather till the end it is the way it should be.
I miss bad weather. It's been clear skies for far too long. It's time for a tornado.
And I just kind of felt that it was her putting a lot of blame on Heather for the reasons that they're in the places that they are. And whether it is true or not, I feel like Whitney really wanted to go in there with the heart of, I'm not trying to accuse anybody of anything. I just want this to be peace. We both messed up, but this is what you did wrong.
I relate to Heather Gay so much because that's me. I'm like, okay, I've already apologized that I didn't do everything right in Arizona. Why? I love you. We normally enjoy a wonderful relationship. So why is this tiny thing anything more than just a tiny thing?
And it's all these things that Heather doesn't know about, that it's all in Whitney's own, in her own monologue, in her own, her own monologue of her own life that she's creating that Heather's not a part of.
But I will say, Heather didn't take it well.
She did not take it
well.
Even
though I feel like Whitney was trying to say it in a kind way.
I believe that.
I feel like Heather was not she might have been overwhelmed with the rest of her life, but I think she's surprised by this. Yeah. I think she's surprised that on camera, you're calling me a bad person.
Yeah, and basically that's
what
how
it is.
she felt.
On camera, you're calling me a bad person.
You only came over to my house to say what a bad person I am and that you've been suffering with all this behind me and not even letting me know. And that's the fact, is you didn't let me know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's her whole thing. It's
and
like, I don't know about this.
The weird thing is, though, we haven't talked in so long that you don't know.
I don't feel,
Yeah, like, that's the problem.
That's the issue.
Where it all starts. The problem is, there is distance. I just want you to know why we can go around in circles.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes. So I
was rooting for Whitney on this one, and I don't feel Heather reacted as great as she could have. But again, all the things, she just listed off everything she's so overwhelmed about, and she just sat down. She thought she was going to be able to have a good conversation with her friend, but all she's hearing is what a horrible person she's been to her friend. And it's just not the way she wants to hear it. And she's like, well, fine, I'm a horrible friend. Like, she doesn't have any energy to give into this.
Yeah,
this
I don't
fight.
know why we're still talking about this.
Yeah.
And then bring up a trigger like Lisa Barlow.
Yeah. But, Whitney's on this journey where she needs resolve, and Heather just kind of doesn't want to have, she doesn't feel like there needs to be resolve. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
But Whitney can't have that right now. And I understand. I understand both of, I hated this ending.
I hated it.
it.
It made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, because I love Whitney. I love Heather. And I know how good of friends they are. And so I hate seeing them both, not be able to get on the same track
and the fact
with
that
each other.
We know that, in real time, it's still going on.
It's still going on. Yeah. My sister Sarah messaged me specifically to ask if Heather and Whitney are still friends right now, and I said it's not looking good, and she was so hurt by that.
Yeah,
she was so genuinely hurt by that.
Even Heather starts off this scene saying that she misses.
Bad weather. Yeah, it's bad weather to the end. Y'all are cousins.
Well,
did we make it through the episode?
We made it through the whole episode.
There's something we could talk about, I'm sure.
No, it's time to go. It's my birthday. I still have to edit this episode. We are done talking about it.
Ooh, you know what? The music during this whole scene, did you listen to it?
No.
It is very Heartbeat Jaws-esque.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the rate of a heartbeat. And it gets a little bit louder and a little bit louder, but it's slow, like the Jaws theme. It was intense listening to it because I had my head down and I could just hear it. I'm like, I was like, are we watching Jaws? And I'm like, no, it's just them talking, and it's the buildup of tension that you could see in Heather.
Oh my gosh.
See, I knew I could make this a little bit longer.
Well, no need to. All right, well, listen to us on our social medias. We just posted a piece of my reality checked on our IG today.
Watch my hairography on YouTube or Spotify.
You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're the Real Housebears.
Bear, do you want to have
on
hair
Twitter?
for a second?
We are Real Housebears, and you can email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
I was just trying to give you
Your
some of my
turn.
hair to.
Your turn.
You could watch us on YouTube, and you could watch us on Spotify, and you could listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. But if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please go and give us a 5-star rating and a cute little review, and we will put you on air. We'll speak about you on air and make you hashtag Housebears famous.
Bye.
Oh my God, is it over yet? Not until I say bye.
I'm turning it off.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Check has begun.
Hello.
Reality checked. Reality checked.
Oh, with Amy Phillips.
Yeah.
Ciao.